Oh, but that's the capture point, though. I mean, it's inside a square building, but it is kind of...
Yeah, Miller has finally come in to resecure this here at Vex.
Yep, okay, looking around, Bravata's been saved. I like the fact that they saved it early rather than late. Moss Ridge was attacked, is now being saved by Cobalt. Gurney Dam has been harassment from all things. Whispering Pass has just been captured by Cobalt. Looks like they've reapplied pressure and they've just taken it now. Biolab has been saved. Cobalt is now the highest lead they've ever had through the entire game. They've gone up to 56%. It's very, very difficult. In fact, we're going to be at the point where it's quite possibly Miller is not going to be able to get back into this and make a, to win if they wanted to.
It's interesting. I wonder if we missed something in the air, because this is the first time I've seen Miller's air come back for at least 30 minutes. And maybe that was a tactical decision. They wanted their boots on the ground to do that massive offensive we saw. Maybe they got knocked out of the air and they had no choice to be on the ground. But I finally see some. But maybe
hold on. I'm gonna exit map mode because you can see my observer camera spinning out like it was yesterday. So again, if you don't like spinniness and screens or epilepsy or all that kind of stuff, look away now. All right, I'm gonna come out. You're saying Red?
Miller finally has some ESFs over top of construction site Sigma, which they're very tenuously holding. Actually, Cobalt just broke onto the point with 3 people. I don't think this is going to hold here. But it seemed like for almost half an hour, I saw very little Miller air, and I wonder if that was a choice they made to say we want people on the ground to do that big offensive we saw, or whether that was they got knocked out of the air and we just unfortunately missed it.
Right. I mean, we haven't captured all the air fighting going on, and it looks like Cobalt saved construction site Sigma. That was the one Miller attack going on in the south, and Miller has to save Ixtab. I'm going to have a look at Ixtab power regulation next. But aside from the one air support attack going on at Akan Southern Labs, when Miller took Akan Southern Labs, I haven't actually seen Miller use their air force at the sweet timing in conjunction with their ground attack. I've seen it once or twice being late or fighting somewhere else, but I haven't actually seen it. Maybe there's just so many bases going on, they can't be everywhere. But it seems like one of the key bases that they were taking, they were still able... if they had the Air Force, they could have won. Similar to yesterday's games where Gurney Dam and Air Force would have been really, really helpful. Looks like there's a large force also at East Akan storage hub. The Biolab is 1 minute 40. Vex Biologics has been saved. What's it, Chak Intel Hub? It looks like Miller's going to lose it. Half a platoon there.
I just had my observer cam start spinning on me too, so I will have to redeploy.
You just bail out the vehicle and type in observer.
Oh, okay.
It's interesting, the cap point's flipping and nobody from Cobalt wants to go down and resecure. Alright, this engineer's inadvertently secured it by coming out to repair.
I'm here at the tech plant, and this time, even though a vehicle terminal was repaired at the tech plant, and so now Cobalt has vehicles. They have lots of Sunders at this tech plant. This is a very dangerous thing here for Miller. If they want to save their tech plant, they need to do it now, because somebody unfortunately repaired a vehicle terminal, and we know how incredibly dangerous that is.
And the thing is, it's chaotic. In the north, it looks like Cobalt is running away with the game. They're attacking J993, all that's been saved. They're attacking Bravata PMC. They're attacking Ixtab Power Relation, all that's just been saved. They're attacking the Biolab, although that's barely just been saved. The pressure is on East Akan Hub. So it looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bases from Miller is being attacked in the middle and the north. Miller is purely on the defensive in the north. But in the south, Miller's attacking 2 bases. Now, they lost the attack on construction site Sigma, so that's a save. And they're attacking Whispering Pass. So this is evident. Cobalt is pressuring 7 bases, saved the 8th, and then now just needs to respond to their 8th. So it's 7-1 in terms of pressure. It's they're racking it up a gear with about 7 minutes and 20 seconds left in this game to go. We'll have a look at the tech plant.
There was a really nice squad that came in through the through the back doors of the tech plant, came up through the non-functional gun and managed to get onto the point. Unfortunately, they were wiped out very quickly. And honestly, anything trying to come through that front vehicle spawn area is going to have to go through, I think it's up to... Oh gosh, they have Vanguards now. This is...
It's AP Vanguards. I mean, yes, okay, I like the fact the Sunders are blocking off... the underpass, the under tunnel section. But the fact is, the actual capture point itself is highly exposed from just a standard, the double door section from the spawn room area. There's nobody here, and you got the twin staircases on the side. There's very, very few people on the capture point. So long as Miller does not take the underground tunnels to get to the spawn room and just spawns in naturally and runs to the cap point, they will be fine. However, is that the SCU vulnerable?
Yes.
Oh, not only that, it's charged now.
And
just an infiltrator.
It is possible that Miller has said, forget the tech plant. You know what? It's a pop sync. Let's we can.
Well, it's 3 minutes to go. They can. They'll lose the base. They need to save it. I mean, if this was a fully saved base, and it looks like they're coming in on the balcony doing a balcony drop, and that should be enough, I think. I don't think there's enough infantry for Cobalt. Oh, maybe I tell a lie. There's a lot of Cobalt numbers actually beginning to spawn in. I think Cobalt's just spawning in numbers from nowhere now. I didn't see them before. Maybe they were all inside the Sunders or something.
To be honest, the tech plant at this point, Miller has several bases ticking. They're attacking hard in the south, and they are losing Vex Biologics. If I had to choose only one base to save up here, it would be Vex, not the tech plant. The tech plant is acting as a population sink. You have a lot of people there. Don't send any more people than you have to. You need to be attacking all the places you are. You need to be saving what you can, like Vex. And those are the areas you need to be spending your population for these last 7 minutes of the tech plant.
Oh, I tell you what, I mean, the fact is, Cobalt is... I mean, they've stepped up on Vex Biologics as well. I mean, we'll come back to the tech plaque in a second here because it's really, really close. But Vex Biologics is now ticking down very quickly as well with less than 30 seconds to go. Alright, looks like Miller
just got... They just crashed onto the point with a large population. Although they are getting kind of torn up here.
They're not actually really on the point yet. Alright, there we go. Now, the fact is, Miller saved Vex Biologics. That's great. Do they automatically redeploy everybody immediately? Because some of them have to stay behind and defend the point, because the tech plant is still going down, and it's got 90 seconds to go. Moss Ridge is being pressured, 90 seconds till Miller takes it. East Acan is being attacked. They need a few more people to save that on 2 minutes. Miller was trying to do his Can Southern Halbs. They were trying Whispering Pass briefly, and Sigma briefly, and Treehouse of Horus briefly, but this looks like small kind of annoyance forces. Miller saved Vex Biologics. They're still trying to clean up. Do they leave? Do they go? We're going to go to the tech plant. If you could check out Moss Ridge Command for me.
At this point, resecuring that tech plant for Miller just resecures the base for them. It does not buy them.
4 minutes. 4 minutes left.
So only bases that are ticking at this point can capture. So Moss.
But this will be the third 7-minute equivalent large outpost that Cobalt has taken off of Miller. Theoretically, bases that you shouldn't really lose.
Moss Ridge has, I think it had VS on it very briefly on the point when I got here, and it has now been drastically resecured by the NC, by Cobalt. Coming in here, there is a very large force, and I don't, unless there's
tech plant is getting chaotic. It's Miller and Cobalt all over the cap point. However, I think Cobalt's finally pulled it off. I'm not seeing enough Miller. Oh well, no res grenade. It's contentious, but I think Cobalt just has enough. Although the longer this flips, the more. All right, here we go. Proper squad coming in now for Miller. And they're going to get the cap point. It was very small numbers, 4 or 5 people constantly dying, rezzing on the capture point, but final save by Miller, and this looks like it should be over because they're on the capture point. However, SCU has been charged. And Galaxy Drop for Cobalt is looking to... Miller's trying to... Oh, look, 3 people trying to save the SCU. You're not playing for directives, guys. What's going on? Okay, so that one guy right there, he saved the SCU. Well done there. But right, it's still exposed. It's been saved. That's fine. They've still got the capture point. So it looks like Miller shouldn't lose the tech plant, in theory. Although there are still a bunch of Vanguards and vehicles for Cobalt, it's now gone in Miller's favour. Vex Biologics has been saved. Eastern Acan Storage Depot was saved with 10 seconds to go. We can see that by how much time's left.
And there is still a lot of fighting going on outside the room. I'm trying to see if there's a counter push coming in. There is a small counter push coming in from the NC.
Vex Biologics or East Acan?
At East Acan. I think they finally managed to mop that up. The Miller has.
Yeah, it looks like it.
So the tech plant is still vulnerable. It can still be capped in time for things to end. Vex Biologics, as long as it's fully resecured, cannot. Easticon, if Cobalt wanted to, they could drop people on it right now and try and take it. Same with the Biolab, although there's a very large population there. Moss Ridge, I guess it's possible you might win the clock if Miller dropped its people on there immediately. And I think everything else is being resecured right now.
Oh, geez, we're almost at the 1 minute marker. Right, let's have a look at the map. What's left to be contention? Odin's, give them a 1 minute warning when they get to 10 seconds from now. So, Vex Biologics doesn't matter. The tech plant doesn't matter. Eastacan Storage Depot doesn't matter. The Biolab doesn't matter. Moss Ridge Command doesn't matter. X-Tub Power Regulation doesn't matter. ISRP Hydroponics doesn't matter. Nanite Relay doesn't matter. That's it. So this is the final score. No other bases can actually be into contention. So that last fight there was it. So can probably safely now call the score unless I'm grossly mistaken somewhere. It is a 42 to 57.
And really, I mean, this is such a close match. Without Sleepy Hollow following, this would have been, I think it was a 54 for a while.
Well, it was Sleepy Hollow, but not just Sleepy Hollow. It was Sleepy Hollow and Nason's Defiance. I mean, we're looking at the time graph line now, and 20 seconds to go, but we can see how they got up to the point where all the neutral bases were taken. Then Cobalt takes a lead, then Miller brings it back. Cobalt takes a lead, Miller brings it back. Cobalt takes a small lead, but Miller is still stabilizing, and it's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then right at the very end, Cobalt then takes the lead with 4 base caps.
3, 2, 1. Great game, guys. Great game. Congratulations.
Oh, there we go. Right, so if we get our representatives up, Odin or Maelstrom can do that, and we'll have a chat with them in a second. Okay, it's bad luck. Miller lost, but there's nothing to be ashamed of there. Miller really played very, very well.
Yes.
Really good.
Anga, one room up.
Sorry, wrong one. My bad.
Odin, can we get an all call giving them the final score and asking their force commands and people to get up there?
Is that accurate? Maelstrom,
Can the server representatives and the force leads please head up to the interview channel? Thank you.
It's interesting. Alright, well, we'll just wait till they get in the channel, and then we'll have a little chat with them.
That was one of the closest. It wasn't the closest in score matches, but it was constantly back and forth, and you constantly felt this momentum swing between the two servers of, somebody was up and taking a bunch of bases, and then somebody else was up and taking another bunch of bases. And even though Cobalt maintained a lead for the majority of the game, even though they lost it a couple of times, it never really felt safe until they lost. Until they took the base in the north.
Yeah. Alright, I think it looks like everyone's in the interview channel, so let's jump in there and let's have a chat with them. Hey guys, how you all doing? That was super close and intense to watch. Just like chaotic chaos everywhere. How's it for you guys?
Chaotic chaos?
Yeah, chaotic chaos.
Chaotic, yeah.
My brain's just meltdown right now.
Did a really good job, though. Very good.
I mean, something that I'm interested to see is what did you guys feel was the turning point in the match? This is one of the few times we've been able to say this was back and forth, and Miller would take some, and then Cobalt would take some. Cobalt, what did you feel finally was able to secure you that match?
Well, I believe actually in Nason's Defiance, once we just surrounded that base and upped it, that allowed us to move people around a bit more easily.
And Miller, did you feel like you were in it right up to the very end, or was there something that once it fell you thought was a problem?
It was Nathan's that broke us. We cocked that one up. I think we got a bit too overzealous going for Broken Veil. We should have pulled off earlier. We didn't, and we paid for that. But I think up until that point, it was a really exciting game. There's a lot of back and forth. I thought it was great.
It's very consistent hold. Those numbers were just solid for a good hour. Very good.
I think one of the other turning points was probably Woodman ASC Labs.
Yeah,
as soon as they got in there, you open up all the lanes, and it's really hard to take that base back. So I think halfway through the match, we had these kind of two jutty out positions at Nason's Defiance and the Khan Biolab, and we just weren't able to attack hard enough to pull them off Woodman.
Something else, Miller, that I noticed is, there were once or twice during the match where you had these massive assaults. You were attacking everyone, and I didn't notice until later, but it seemed like then you had less air force. Were you deliberately pulling people out of the air to have them attack, or were they light on resources and you were just able to use those people?
I think it was probably more of a case of, it's
I want to just
resources and then taking the initiative. They had a really good air lead, squad leads tonight, so they did well.
Ferry, you had a question?
No, please do go on. I'm just talking to Matt at the moment. To continue, sorry.
Cobalt, what was your goal going into this? Did you get what you wanted off the opening, or was there? Did you not get what you wanted out of the opening and immediately have to react to it?
No, we got what we wanted to start with. We were prioritising Granny Dam. We wanted that, and we got it. And yeah, I wanted to push forward a bit more on the north a little bit. So we were having to counter it to the construction site beta a lot more than expected. But yeah, my main push for this game this battle was to go through the middle.
And Miller, how did you feel the opening went? It seemed like you basically went yin and yang. Cobalt was pushing the south and Miller was pushing the north, and that seemed to be where you were getting your gains. Was that what your intention was? Or?
I think it was quite fluid at the beginning. The base I really wanted at the beginning was Nason's, because it's a really solid base that sort of
You really went for it, man. Almost to the point where it shot yourself in the foot. You sent a whole platoon there, and they stayed almost the entire 7 minutes.
Yeah. I figured, it'd be easier to overcommit than undercommit if Cobalt went hard for it. I think in the past smashes we had against Woodman, there was always some pretty hefty fighting, so I thought we'd go heavy for it, and then if necessary we'd make up the gains elsewhere. It was a bit dicey, I was looking at the pop hex and thinking, we got a lot, we got to get some of those guys back out there and somewhere else.
Now, Cobalt, one of the smaller things, or held by smaller squads for a significant portion of the match, was the Shack Tech Plant area. And I went up there twice and didn't find anyone. I assumed that there was a single squad or maybe even a single person up at that tech plant just letting it tick down. Do you know who that was? They seem to really be taking a lot of time out of that lane. And at one point, a single squad, maybe even a single person, got an entire platoon of Miller to come resecure because of the how far they'd gotten it to tick down.
Actually, I went there myself as a Stoke infiltrator, and we did the point a couple of times, and I kept just going forward, and I know it's force commanding, but I can't help but help the cause. So I was surprised at how far down that went before the reinforcements came. Same thing with Vex. I went to Vex as well, and that was quite remarkable.
What are, from the force commanders, what is the difference between commanding on Hassan as opposed to commanding on the other continents? I mean, obviously there's more lanes. What does that have to change to how you think about things and how you move your forces around?
I think with so many more lanes, I mean, Esmer's got about 4 active lanes at most. The fight's just so much bigger. On Hassan you can't defend everywhere and you can't attack everywhere. So you're relying a lot more on small squad actions, you're relying on the platoon leaders to make sure that they look after bases nearby them. So you're relying a lot more on the initiative of your players.
I think that's sort of what we sort of went into this match today was that we're going to try and devolve some authority to the PLs in the sense that this is your area, you get to look after.
I like that. Yeah, that worked really well for Emerald. I got a quick question. Looking at some of the stats, for a huge amount of time, the Anchor was actually in the top, and the Orion was way down. The SV-88 was getting a lot of use from Miller. I mean, and you guys know why you just decided not to go with the Orion? It seems like the default weapon.
I haven't got a clue actually. I left that up to, you roll with what you want if it gets results. So,
And I think we have the air leads in here. Is that right?
I don't think we do.
Yeah.
Daikar is an air lead. Oh, he needs voice though. I think these people at the bottom need voice.
They don't have Miller's air leads.
There we go. Now we can talk.
So, Daikar, while we're fixing everyone else with voice, we didn't cover as much as the air as we would have liked. It's very hard. There's tons of fights going on all over the place. We're just focusing mainly on the base flipping. But when we did see the air fights going on, it seemed to be pretty violent. I mean, how can you explain what was maybe going on in the air game, throughout the 2 hours?
Well, to be honest, I wasn't expecting that much of a resistance from Miller in the air, but we were actually the entire Air Force was down for a while, where we had to regroup at the warp gate and spawn new ones. So I'm not sure did Miller have a dedicated air, or were they cycling in ground people?
We had a dedicated air platoon. It's kind of funny.
We're trying to drag our air leader in now.
Yeah, we were really short on pilots to the point that I was saying a couple of days ago. If you've got people that want to fly, have got open slots, just take them. I think our air leads today did a really good job. We're expecting Cobalt to have a really strong air force. I mean, I played in the server smash on Esmir, and that was 2 hours of getting non-stop rocket podded. So I was particularly wary of Cobalt's air, but I'm really pleased with how well our air held up given the circumstances.
Yeah, you guys did really well. I think we went a bit too heavy on the air to ground in the start, and we couldn't do much against the lock-on squads. Even if it's a bad pilot flying a lock-on site, it's still fucking deadly.
I think that was the sort of what I stressed our air leads as, kill Cobalt's air and then worry about the ground.
Well, congratulations, Cobalt, in your win and in your placement into the advancement into the championship game. Are you looking forward to the championship? Do you
a rematch with Emerald? You want to get some revenge?
Absolutely. Yeah, we are really looking forward to that one. This was a fantastic fight. It was almost as close run as Waterloo, I think. And we look forward to the final with Emerald. But good battle, Napoleon. Thank you.
One of Miller's air
well played.
commanders
Good
is
game.
in here now. He's moved up here.
Giga Clutch, give him voice if you can.
Giga Clutch.
Hi.
So Giga, tell us about Miller's air, because we were just talking about Cobalt's air and how it was played. What can you tell us about the Miller air game or the Miller air plan and what was going on?
Well, we only had a tune-up, and obviously morale's been fairly low after losing twice, so we're quite lucky to get that entire platoon. That's a bit of a scramble. But generally we were just air-to-air the entire game for the most part, just trying to stop you from getting superiority. But it's just, the new resource system is just horrible for server smash air, to be honest. It's
You see, and see Miller's air implementation, were you mainly focused on air denial, or were there certain elements where you were like ground support, so you were helping guys on the ground? Because I saw once on a can Southern Labs you actually helped the air, and it made all the difference in taking the base. And then there are other times where I understand there's like 7 or 8 fights going on at once, where it's like, if only Miller's air was here, they could totally make this base flip.
Yeah, there were a lot of times where we just wish we had more. I mean, I don't know. Did you only have one platoon up? Because it seemed like you had way more than we could handle at one time.
Only had platoon up.
Yeah. Because there were plenty of times where we were like being requested down somewhere else, but we were being heavily engaged by what felt like a whole platoon, but just couldn't handle it all, and there were a lot of times that we just couldn't be where we would have liked to be. So
yeah, I spent a lot of time moving the different individual squads around the map. I mean, as soon as we saw one of your airballs, I sent the entire platoon over there to take you out.
yeah. It was pretty much the same with us. We were...
Yeah. But I must say, you did a really good job against us. I wasn't expecting that much, to be honest. We even got grounded for like 5 minutes in total. So it was a lot better than Connery did.
Oh, 5 minutes. Yeah, well played. You fought well.
Yeah, well played. So I was getting people asking for support from the air all over the place.
I think that's probably one of the most enjoyable server smashes I've been involved with. It's just a really nice game, even though we lost.
Well, I would have to say, even though Miller lost this game, there's nothing to be ashamed of. He still did extremely, extremely well.
Yeah, and you never gave up. That was like the thing that impressed me the most. Like even to the end, you were still like securing bases and stuff. Most of the time, people tend to give up at the 30-minute mark or something when there's only 30 minutes left.
Oh god.
Uh-oh.
Can you give him voice at the bottom? Okay, the chat wants to talk to you, sir. So why don't you tell us who you are and what you were doing during the server smash to get all those kills?
Hello, my name is JellyBMF. I play for Fool. And during this match I play Heavy Assault mainly. I was looking at the map each time I died to find the best fight and following orders if I so desired.
So you were a freelance soldier, just going around killing people, and going to where you wanted to go. Is that what it is?
Yeah, I've been
I
doing
see.
the last 3 server smashes.
You're a credit to your server, sir. I will let you go. There you go, Twitch chat. I hope you're happy. MVP of the game, helping his server.
Thank you.
Okay, alright, moving on, guys. As we were saying, Miller did extremely well. And Cobalt, you're going to go on and play Emerald. Is there anything you've been watching about Emerald? Do you think anything that Emerald's maybe picked on your game today that are you going to do a lot of prep work? Because I know that Emerald does a huge amount of prep work on their finals. So I mean, are you going to invade Briggs as a practice match? I mean, what are your thoughts? What are you going to do?
Well, we'll plan on 3 before. We have a virtual sort of Britain mapping table where we coordinated all the different alternative scenarios with units and stuff to push around. We'll be paying very carefully to detail of where we can exploit Emerald's weaknesses.
Well, Red, if you've got any other last questions, put them down now. Otherwise, we'll just head on off and end the stream.
All right, well played to Miller, and congratulations to Cobalt, and we look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks versus Emerald.
Oh, and Emerald gets, just before we go, Emerald gets first pick. Now, it won't be Esimir, which means it'll be Amrish or Hossin, right? And they can either pick the continent, or they can pick their faction or the warp gate. So they get to pick 2 out of 3. Is there anything you want to, how should I say that you want, or double negative, or whatnot to say to Emerald? Are we kind of like psych them out saying, Emerald, don't pick Amrish, we really don't want you to pick Amrish? Is there anything you want to say to them?